Good evening. Good evening. Maybe somebody will join us, maybe they won't, but I am on here to talk about an experience that I had tonight that it could resonate with at least Americans, or it could resonate anywhere, really, with the political climate we have. I went to a debate, and it was my candidate that I'm supporting for Congress here with the incumbent congressman. And they were interviewed, well, it was a debate, but the moderator was from a local paper. You know, we're in a rural, small area in the state I'm in, and all of it revolved around the issues of jobs and economics and, tit for tat. And she was great, but this guy, this politician, his name is Tom Reed. He's a congressman, and he's on this thing called the Problem Solver Caucus. And he touted all of this wonderful information about how bipartisan they are and how much they get done. And his opponent, he's like this, right? And nothing came up at all about the environment one time. Nothing. Not a question, not a discussion. In our area, fracking could be a possibility. And that didn't come up. They talked about the farmers, but they don't talk about what would happen to the farmers. And they brought up things that don't even really affect us, but in the community. But for me, it was just so telling that nothing about the environment came up. And I asked afterwards, I asked the guy, the moderator, I said, did you have any questions about climate change? Did you have any questions about fracking? I mean, this area, part of the district, is fertile for fracking. And his answer to me was interesting. He said, oh, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. It'll never happen because Cuomo will get elected again in New York State, and it'll never happen. You can never say never. You never can say never. Look at what happened. People said never back in the 80s, and now we're on this precipice of a cliff, and these politicians don't even talk about it. This was a crowded hall of rural people. I mean, crowded hall. And it is, I think, lying by omission when you have a debate and you don't talk about what is reality happening. Communities need to be prepping. Communities need to be preparing. They need to be understanding and educated in deep adaptation and how to survive the things that are happening. For God's sakes, it has been raining for days here. I took a video of my creek. I'm going to shore up the side of my house with sandbags. That's what Paul Beckwith had done, or he told me to do, as I remember, when Ottawa flooded. So these are the things that have to be dealt with in this community. It's a farming community, district. There are a lot of resources that could be pooled together. And the people that are pooling all these things together are local activists, really. It certainly isn't Congressman Tom Reed on the Problem Solvers Committee. Hi, Valhalla. Val said now that there is a wild town there. Oh, no, that's a wild town, Ottawa. Okay, well, anyway, I sat through this thing, and I know that I was really being, I was right up front. And when he talked, I couldn't help it. I've had neck surgery, so my neck hurt. And I put my head down like this. And it probably really looked obnoxious, like every time he was talking. Hi, Justin. Oh, Justin's with us. Nice. Every time he was talking, I had this neck ache, so I put my neck down. But Tom Reed is such a phony, a fake, and a fraud. The Intercept just did an article about him. Hi, Bio. I see you too. See, you guys, because when I'm doing a little thing here on YouTube, I don't have any graphics or anything. I don't even know how to do them. So nobody else can see you, but you can see each other in the chat, I guess. Okay, so let's go on to this. So this congressman, it is just so indicative of just how screwed we are. It really is. Those of us that are in this genre, whoever's with me, you get it. You get it. But no one can talk about it except for our communities. And this dude, Tom Reed, he put down academia because Tracy, his opponent, Dr. Matrano, she comes from academia, and she happens to be a cybersecurity expert, and she is wants to bring some expertise into Congress, but at least she's got an environmental stand, but there was no questioning of it. And they did trade barbs. But he is indicative of a blind, deaf, and dumb idiot. And he was condescending. He kept calling her by her name. And I guess they have conventions and debate. And she was supposed to be called Dr. Matrano by him and Mr. Reed by her. And he condescendingly called her Tracy through the whole thing. It was just, he is embarrassing. But this is an all-of-the-above energy guy. He doesn't like me anyway because I've live-streamed his town halls when I was feeling better. And I ask him difficult questions, and they're the typical answer. He doesn't give one. I'm an all-of-the-above energy guy. So basically, if there wasn't the network of activists here, and if New York didn't lean left, we would have fracking, and we would be just as bad as Colorado with pollution of wells and drilling pads all over, and that's, I want to hear about that. I want to hear about our district being a farming rural district. I want to hear about pesticide use. I want to hear not what they talked about, which was totally ludicrous. Under immigration, he's talking about getting the farmers what they need as far as help in the fields or whatever. And in the other breath, they're talking about jobs. So he's saying, okay, in immigration, we'll get the farmers the help they need. Well, but yet people need jobs. I didn't understand that one. He doesn't make sense. The guy just doesn't make sense. And Tracy did. I mean, she was right on her game. I loved it. Actually, I loved it. I really did love it. So Justin said, yeah, all the above means anything goes, AKA do nothing. Of course. Do nothing, and we'll just go. I mean, okay, before I go, the last thing I wanted to say about this was he talked in ways about, oh, hi, Trevor, hi. Okay, wow, my Facebook crowd's coming to YouTube. He talked about having hundreds of years in the future to this audience, hundreds of years down the road. Oh my God. Don't just, I can't read it. Wait, did it come back? I know this is really impromptu. Okay, what did you say here? Bio. Just don't eat misogynistic, racist, white ice cream from Ben & Jerry's. From Ben & Jerry's. Well, he was talking down. He was just a complete jerk. And he supports Trump. And I can't understand how. I guess I can understand it since I've been looking at it enough. These people, they are in a cult. I've come to that conclusion. The supporters of Donald Trump. And these two went through this thing. She called him Mr. Trump, and Tom Reed got all kinds of upset, made a big thing about how she said Mr. Trump instead of President Trump, and the room was divided. I mean, this night was just such a harbinger of the future, a microcosm of everything wrong and some things that are right. but it was a divided room, and then there was the booing on the one side, and I swear to God, if those people wanted to, they probably would have yelled, "Lock her up," about Dr. Matrano. So really, that's it. I mean, it just seems to me that if this is the way the Problem Solvers Caucus is, and they really don't talk about in the environment, and if a local newspaper guy had questions and I asked him, why didn't you talk about the environment? And it's not. I go on these websites. It's not on a lot of the politicians. They have a little blurb, but there's not, sometimes there's so many other things. But what people fail to realize is that everything hinges upon our environment and our climate change problems. Everything. There will be no single-payer health care. There will be no immigration that's going to be monitored because it'll be climate migration. It's going to be either a police state or it's going to be death, destruction. I mean, these people are not paying attention to the scientists. And he did another thing that really, he put down academia. I think I said that in the beginning of this. I mean, he just through one wipe. He talks about how he went to college, and then he belittles her for being an administrator and developing a whole IT security thing that's used in universities all over. He belittled that. What a clueless moron! And I worked in academia for 20 years, so of course I'm offended. I'm offended. Well, I am offended because, listen, the dumbing down of America is real. I mean, what do we have? We've got a lot of anti-science, clueless morons. Hi, Marcia. She knows, right? It's craziness. And just tonight was so indicative of all of it, all of it. It has to be everywhere in these towns in America. They're just not talking about the things that we know. And it's difficult to live in the paradigm like that. It is. So I guess that's why I stay home most of the time. And I made it. It was a rainy, shitty drive. And it's like Noah's Ark around here. So anyway, I'm going to go. But I just thought I would share that experience with you. The insanity of politics and how they don't take it seriously. Hi, Kendra. Nice to be able to catch me live. Cool, Kendra. Kendra's with us, Kendra Watkins. That they don't take our environmental issues and climate change as the umbrella issue. So we'll just keep going, la-di-da. We'll skip off into the apocalypse. Nothing I can do about it, but do what I do. Peace, everybody. Good night, and thank you for coming. Bye. Wait. I do this all the time. You get to see a nice big shot of my thumb.